Batya Leventhal. And of course, President Herzog, interesting, going to the U.S. at a time when there is this chatter and the obvious strains between the Biden administration and the Netanyahu government. And President Herzog is going to have to toe a kind of fine line there, stressing U.S.-Israel ties while perhaps addressing in some way some of the controversies that are straining those ties now.
Absolutely. And U.S. correspondent Mike Wagenheim definitely had a point. The president is more of a ceremonial role, and he has not much to do with the actual government and Benjamin Netanyahu, including some of his far-right ministers' policies within Israel. However, I do think that this is going to be an opportunity where Joe Biden, who has been notorious in not inviting yet the prime minister to the White House, in addressing with perhaps a less intense figure that represents some kind of policies with regards to Israel, being the president, I think he is going to have to address the fact that maybe the president needs to be doing more to facilitate. There's been very big efforts on the president's part to mediate between the opposition and the coalition, between the protesters as well as some of the more hardline members of Netanyahu's government in terms of these negotiations. We know that they have currently been stalled ever since the Knesset came back and is now pushing the reasonableness as well as other judicial reforms, or at least parts of them, until the end of July, being the end of the summer session of the Knesset. And so there is going to be a lot to talk about. And I do think that there will be a likeliness of Joe Biden to address not just the global issues and the usual chit-chat that goes on with more of a ceremonial figure, but I think he's going to use it as a key point in trying to put across how the U.S. is currently feeling with regards to Israel's government and its more hardline policies.
Right, and I think we can anticipate kind of a split screen, maybe, when President Herzog gives that speech in Congress, because we know that the protesters have also, against the judicial reforms, have also been active in the United States. I imagine they will be in Washington, and I certainly expect that they'll also be carrying out protests here in Israel at the same time that he speaks. So certainly, in some way or the other, we can expect that he's going to address this. I want to thank Mike Wagenheim for joining us from New York. I'll ask Batya Leventhal to stay with us. We're going to continue on this topic, speak to a former prominent U.S. diplomat dealing with issues related to Israel and the judicial reforms.